Good evening, Earth people. This is Brendan Edwards reporting to you in the starry night on the shores of the Japanese Sea from my secret laboratory that I'm not going to tell you about because then it wouldn't be such a secret. Anyway, I got a few things on my mind, and I suppose the first one, try to break it out a little bit tonight, is why us Wakko fringe people are probably useful. I've been variously successful in my life, ups and downs, married and unmarried. I've made investments and lost them, and it's brought me here, where now I'm running a kind of a cafe, bed and breakfast kind of thing going on, and I'm kind of dipping more and more into sort of the sports tourism, and there's a lot of biking here, and I'm looking at getting some boats and stuff, and whatever. So doing that. I was thinking about, what I'm always thinking about actually is, so I'm like one of these standard Wakko fringe guys from the sort of mainstream perspective, who is totally consumed with concerns about things like God. Imagine that, right? And philosophy and God and history and politics and the direction that society's going and all these kinds of things. And what I've realized, is that, most of the best commentators, people that are, I think, the most correct and in many cases the most rigorous, are also people that are they seem kind of out there, and I won't name any names for now. Yeah, we have to protect them from being associated with me for whatever trouble I may cause. But I think that, so, like, for instance, I'm living in Japan, right? And in Japan, so I'm American, okay? Right? So, but I'm in Japan. And the Japanese, in most cases, are more concerned with cultural norms and acceptability than most Americans are. And that has good and bad. Implications. In the long run, the Japanese are screwed, and the reason is because the whole place is going the wrong direction. So so here you can peg me. I'm not even hiding. I'll tell you exactly what I think's going on, and I'm likely useful. And the reason I'm likely useful is because I've been inhabiting these oddball kind of positions and studies that people think are stupid, frankly. Pardon me. So, but although at the same time, the way that there's a difference between the way things are reported on in, say, the New York Times, which I consider to be a rag, the toilet paper of record, as the famous and often correct Gerald Solneti may call it. That most of these simplest way to say it is, all right, so I used to do a lot of freelance work, okay? And I lived in the Washington, D.C. area. And so imagine this is like a metaphor, right? And because I'm doing freelance work. I'm doing stage mechanics and electrical work and different things like this for temporary events. So I'd be going to work, and it would be maybe, I don't know, some crazy hour of the night. And then, whatever time it was, late. No traffic, right? So I'm driving. And then I'm coming home from work. And, there's snow or there's rain and there's traffic. But I don't hit any traffic. Because I'm going the opposite direction of 99% of everybody else. And I don't hit any traffic. Right? And it's weird, right? That's like, what's wrong with you? I don't want to be doing the same things that most people are doing. So I'm not traveling the same time and same direction as most people. And this has been intermittently fantastic and miraculous and totally a pain in the ass, because my life just has never resembled anything that most people would consider normal. And as I said, I'm jealous of them the same way they're jealous of me. Sometimes. But, so the reason that the people that do these kinds of things are useful. For instance, some of my favorite people on YouTube, they have criminal records of various sorts. They're labeled as anti-Semites. They're labeled as climate deniers. They're labeled as haters. So this is the point. This is the point of what I'm saying. I know I kind of went roundabout. Is that things that are delegated as destructive or against the society or on the outer limits and all this, whatever types of designations they give it, and specifically in our times, as we speak, in the papers, in the magazines, online, the most destructive thing you can be called is an anti-Semite, or you can be called a racist, or a climate denier. These are like the tar baby atom bomb machines of destruction of the current epoch, right? And so I think I'll cut this one short right soon, and just say this, that you should look into your life and your situation and see which of these do you have any of these sorts of things that you subscribe to, such as believing that these people are anti-Semites, or believing, that questioning certain types of historical accepted truths may not be what they are reported as. Do you believe any of these kinds of things? Do you subscribe to them, right? And if you do subscribe to them, why? Why do you subscribe to them? And have you done any diligence on the question? For instance, the big ones in the papers is this Extinction Rebellion, right? And a lot of people are saying, yeah, and they're cheering them on, right? They're cheering them on. Well, what diligence have those people done on that? Are you one of those people? Why do you support these people? Who are these people? You realize that they've got costumes, right? And they have symbols. And they have transportation some of these crowds, these are there's hundreds of these people showing up places. They have money. So if they have all these things, who's organizing it and who's paying for it? Right? You get the point? All right. So the point is, which things do you subscribe to that you have not really looked into? And here's the final point. Anything that you will defend with an emotional response and believe that it is so inscrutable and so obviously true that it can't even be questioned. If it has that kind of status in your mind, that's the first place to look for something that you have bought and you never looked at the ingredients, or you never looked under the hood, or whatever. You bought a lemon. If you believe it and you can't answer questions about it and you respond emotionally because it's so clearly true, you bought a lemon. That's the place to look. That's the rock to turn over. Start there if you want to get out of the mess that you are obviously in if you believe stuff that easily. All right. That's the end of this recording, and I will see you later. Thank you very much for tuning in.